Man, you guys missed, I think, a good class. We had a great class this year. Almost 130 people there. It was a good class. Dan the man came there and gave a little talk, and everybody was able to talk with Dan, and we had a lot of fun. Good morning. How are you all? Well, we're just now getting our act together after a long week, so we appreciate all of you. We appreciate all of you guys that showed up. I've always enjoyed our classes, and this is the biggest one we've allowed ourselves to have, and it turned out well. You all were very great. And it's really fun to have a class with very spiritual people. I've had all types of classes through the years, and the classes go best when you're full of spiritual people that like that side of life as well. So most of you are just incredible, and I'm so humbled with all the beautiful gifts. Kristen with the beautiful Buddha gave me a little Buddha, and this is a young lady that was bleeding in her kidneys, and now she's getting herself back to life again. No one could help her. And thank you, Shaman Man, for the crystal, the beautiful crystal. And so we had a lot of fun talking God and health and stuff, and so it was a fun thing. In the meantime, when you have the positive energies going, you always have the negative energies. And so I've been informed of this Magickal Hummingbrd thing. So, to you, Magic Hummingbird, you lost your magic, dear one. This is what happened to yourself on the way to God, honey. You got lost, did you? That's ego. And this is a good lesson. You actually show us all a good lesson of what not to get involved in, and that's the id. I know you're a Wiccan, but you don't use the ego. And this is the thing. We don't mind people putting their opinions on animal meat and glandulars and stuff like that. We really don't. But there's concepts of people of purity out there that are really false concepts. They don't understand God from a higher order above creation, and what is creation really. They're too involved in creation. And someone that gets too involved in creation loses their spirituality, and then their ego starts getting accentuated. And this is what you see here, where the ego of Miss Hummingbird is out of line. So she needs to drop her magical part of that, because she lost the magic of God. God doesn't care. Let me tell you, it is all things. If you, from one perspective, to kill anything is to kill God. But then you believe in killing and death, see? I believe in that torture and suffering is at the core of everything that needs to be corrected. But if you take a look at nature, you'll find a very violent essence going on in nature. As beautiful as it is that much violent. So, your concepts are wrong. And slandering me and my spirituality is saddening should be saddening to yourself, because you just cut yourself down. I know who I am. You can't affect my relationship with God. And the fact that I'm a God man, you can't do a thing about it. Unfortunately, you just brought yourself down. But it's a good lesson for all of us, And so, too bad you had to get kicked off the Facebook. That's what being a butt does. The Facebook people are a bunch of good, solid people trying to get well. But it offers you guys an incredible chance to articulate your side. But also not to get too involved in the negative forces, because that's what they want to do. They want to pull you in and argue. They want to pull you into their side until they own you. And this is the part about always being in the now and full of joy and love. And get away from opinions and judgments. This is the old judge me not type of thing, And you see this a lot in religions. Religions have a lot of judgment, if you notice that. Spirituality has no judgment, because it sees all life as one. So you see Miss Magickal Hummingbrd lost her spirituality because she lost the sight that all things are one. She might have never had higher experiences. Who knows? In that way. So, it's a good experience for everyone on the site, because this is a good, solid site of love and spirituality and health and wellness. And the main focus of this site is health and awareness and wellness. So it's a sad thing we get these kind of people out there, but they get hooked and focused for the negative forces, and then they become disruptive for the negative forces. It's just part of life. you know. But it's still a sad thing to see some beautiful souls get trapped like that and then try to destroy the world in that way. This is the problem, the hummingbirds of the world, where they're judging each other and one's better than another and things like that. Opinions are one thing, but you carried it too far, hummingbird. You lowered yourself to pretty low there. So I would definitely go out in the woods and get some Wiccan meditation going there and try to get your life more balanced and full of love and joy, sweetheart. And you have to look at life a little more from a higher perspective instead of getting trapped in like your everything is sacred and that creation is here today and gone tomorrow, dear one. Has nothing to do with reality. But it sure can lose you. All right. Now, I'm going to try to catch up on some of these posts we've had. Appreciate you bearing in there with me. It's really difficult to be able to answer all your questions there. I don't even have time to look at them ahead of time, so I apologize. But life's pretty busy, and I trust all our Facebook healers to get themselves up and going. Those that came to the class, now we've pounded that into you, and we had a lot of fun doing it, didn't we? So let's go out and link together and get this world cleaned up and help those people that want it. And those people that don't, that's okay. Let the hummingbirds of the world fly off and do their things. You know, I suspect within 30 to 45 days, might be a little experience coming that way that kind of homes the ego for her, but we'll see. Not we'll see what happens there. You know how God works, don't we? Yeah. All right, this is no hip replacement for my mom in Germany. Dear Dr. Morris, I just need a brief answer to one question. Have you had any success in reversing arthritis in hips, regenerating hip joints? Absolutely. Oh, no, that's a done deal. But if you get on bone and you're going through a lot of suffering and you're elderly, you might want to get a replacement because it's going to be a long while to rebuild bone on bone and where you get in destructive tissue like that. And just in an older person, they've got a lot of work ahead of them. You see how much work, I think a lot of you are beginning to see how much work there is. By the way, I think this is James's 37th day on a 40-day grape fast. And there was someone at the class was already in the 40-some days of grape fasting. That was excellent stuff. Just excellent work on you guys. It's an incredible bunch of people. I can't say enough about all of you guys, especially those that attended the class. You're just such great souls. I was humbled to be in the presence of all of you guys and what we're going to be witnessing on this planet. I was really excited about that. It was beautiful. My mom, 65. Now, she's only 65, so yeah, I would tear it up before she loses too much tissue there, and the knees and all that. Pain and wear and tear and stiffness. This is what she has. Coaxarthros or something. That's all acidosis. Obviously, pain, acidosis, wear, acidosis, tear, acidosis, stiffness, acidosis. Wow, that was easy. Well, there's only two sides to chemistry. Pick one. You know, this is generally not alkalosis that causes these problems. It's in both hips. So what's happening with her? Yeah, she's losing her kidneys, which is about par for the course around the world. So kidneys and adrenals are at the key of this issue. And even with the steroids of the adrenals probably running low for her, so not much help for her. So I have to get the kidneys and adrenals moving and get those kidneys filtering. And this is what this is showing here. She never sees any MDs and lives a pretty healthy lifestyle. And you can live a pretty healthy lifestyle and just through the advent of your genetics and the earlier parts of your life and your diets, you know, see you later kidneys. And unless you take that extra mile and go deeper to regenerate, you just hold it where you are. So if you went into a raw food diet, you basically could hold that right there and not get well, and you'd be on a raw food diet. Now, this is reversing what you've created. And so that requires a high fruit and berry and melon diet. The more I talked with all of you at the class, you could see those that understood the differences of the salads because they went up into the fruits. And all the testimonies we had of people that when they hit the fruit, they really started to see action and deeper detoxification. And it's an obvious, I mean, it's not even a point to argue over People that argue over it just never got up into the higher levels of detox. Those that do, okay, then we have legitimate conversations, and we can articulate what our experiences were. So it's important to, when you're having an articulation or a dictation, that you have it with like-minded people, people that have been on these journeys. And for those that have never been, it makes for good listening material. And hopefully some energy to pull yourself that way. Let me see. She started an all-fruit salad, all-night diet 2 days ago. The orthopedist said she needs both hips replaced. This is Kim. I don't know what to say, Kim. I'll say this, that if she's not bone on bone and not in a lot of pain, then she has time to work on this. If she is on bone and in a lot of pain, then you have to make that decision. And either decision that you make, you have to fix the causative factors. And the causative factors is the lymph system and not filtering properly through the kidneys, so you're developing acidosis in these tissues, which is common. The knees go, the hips go, the shoulders go, the elbows go. This is just all acidosis, just classic stuff. But there's a lot more going on inside, too. This is the problem. This acidosis just isn't in her hips. It's all through her. So this is the other thing you have to consider, is that when you're having pain and discomfort and your hips are breaking down, you're actually breaking down tissue all through you in one way or another. This is what people have to understand. This is a systemic problem, not a local problem. It appears to be local because that's where the pain and suffering is currently, but really it's... So anyway, Kim, you definitely tear it up, like with the basic protocols we've been discussing on this site. I'd probably also pop up that parathyroid. I'd take the bones formula three times a day, and I'd probably supplement with some kelp on top of that. That gives you the iodine and more calcium. Popping up the parathyroid gives you parathermal. Make sure the thyroid is good too. If not, pop that up too, because that's calcitonin. Both calcitonin, which is thyroid, and parathormone, which is parathyroid, are responsible for 1, blood level calcium, and 2, calcium and phosphorus bonding, etc., etc., etc. So all of that is just getting these tissues healthy again and getting this lymph system cleaned up, and then we're in pretty good case here. But you have to see how far advanced you are and whether you want to take the time to rebuild those. This is 12041, Sophie. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Dr. Morris. I am so grateful that my guardian angel, Babe and Earl, guided me. Babe and Earl, I can't imagine what day this is on her juice fast. What, 300th day or something, or climbing up toward the 300th day. Just totally honorable that she's just knocking it out of the ballpark there. That's good self-discipline. I lack that nowadays over what I used to have. But incredible to you. I just, as I get older, just keep absorbing into God. An old Sufi name, God absorption. A good thing to do. Absorb yourself into God. If you want to leave in this lifetime and sew up your affairs and not journey back to this level, and you want to get as high as you can into the heavens, then you have to stop creating. And we talked about that at the class a lot, that you have to stop creating in this universe and pull yourself back to the Godhead again. And that means absorption back into who you are, which is the Godhead again. I just bought the Detox Kit 1 and 2 for myself yesterday, along with the Heal All Tea and God's Blend. I would like to start my kids on the herbs too. My daughter, 9, has a stuffy nose from fall to spring. Well, again, there we go. She's really congested, and the sinuses definitely clean her out, because it's no fun. And what all that leads to in terms of suppression of taste and hearing and smell, but also motor and cognizant skills. All these things can be interrupted when you get too congested up there. So you'd want to clean their bowels a little bit and get, with the younger children, you can use like lymphatic 1 liquid, kidney 1 liquid, endocrine glands, parasite M, stomach and bowel. That gives you 5 good formulas there. Parasite M just for about a month, clean up the fungus and stuff out of them, and then you can bring them off of that one. And, go by weight on the bottles here, and you can go after that. She's constipated, has a fissure already. All right, so